Hey there friends, welcome back. It's been a while since I've seen you. We've had a lot of changes and things happening since I was last on here, which I think was in July. Yeah, it's not July anymore. It is January. It is currently 10 degrees outside. We had a real honest to God snow day yesterday, and today I thought it would be a good idea to work through all my crates of dahlias that need to be split and put away for the winter. Should this have been done many moons ago? Absolutely, but you know me. So while I'm splitting, I'm also going to do our year in review. I went through all my pictures for the year, which was a lot, and I just picked out my favorite things from each month. So we're going to talk about those, my favorite things. Okay, so as I'm working here, I'm just going to talk you through our year and maybe why you haven't seen me in a while. We've had some pretty big changes over the past year. The biggest, honest to God, what is even happening to these tubers? I don't know, these guys. .com. Do I even like .com? I don't even know if this is worth it. I'm sure it is. Two huge changes. Number one, we moved. So you may notice that the setting is a little bit different. And also I'm not bundled up. So something fantastic is that this garage stays nice and warm. I didn't have to wear my bibs when I was making all my wreaths and my greens. It was amazing. It felt like a princess. So number one, we moved. So I spent the summer packing up our house, getting ready to move, moving, unpacking, doing all that. I truly don't wish that on anyone. And I hope I never have to do it again. Number two, in case you don't know, I'm growing a human. So, can you see that? Yeah, there's a baby in there. I don't even have to explain that. So come spring, we're gonna have another little babe on the homestead, which is very exciting and also terrifying. Let's talk about our year in review. January. Probably one of my only positive things from January last year was being able to compete at the state level at the farm show for baking. I was able to compete in the angel food cake contest. The best part was actually being able to do this with my best friend. She was able to compete in the chocolate cake contest. If you don't know, okay, well, I got my dirt bath. Got my dust bath for the day. If you don't know about farm shows or competitions like that, that's a pretty big deal. Neither of us won anything at that level, but it was really a really neat experience, and I'm really glad that we got to do it. February was a big month for us because we purchased a new tractor, which is pretty amazing and has really changed how we do so many things. So that was the highlight of our February. March, I didn't really have any great pictures of anything. I think March was kind of quiet, and that's okay. But that's when I had the first outdoor color, which I always like to document because it's just kind of a fun thing. You wait all winter, and then when you get those first little bits of color, it's just the best because you know that the wait is soon over. April brought us to another big deal for us. I made my first big formal business purchase, and I got a plastic layer, a brand new plastic layer. is another thing, just like the tractor, completely changed how we carry out that task. Just worth every darn penny. It was a lot of pennies, but it was worth it. In May, Grace graduated preschool. So cute. I have never been of the opinion that those types of things are necessary. Like, why do we need to have a graduation for preschool? But it was cute. I get it. During the spring, we really had some weird weather. We had really late cold snaps, and it kind of delayed everything, and then it was very, very, very dry. So my favorite moment from June ended up being Grace and I playing in puddles because the drought was over. We finally got some moisture, and it was just, you know, sometimes you gotta do that. July is when my warm season annuals really come into their own. It's just, my favorite moment is just an abundance of flowers. Finally, August brought us to Grace's first day of kindergarten. How did that happen? So not only were we moving, I was at the very beginning of my pregnancy. We're in high season for everything. I'm also having to adjust to not having my little friend with me all day, which was kind of awkward. September, we actually made some time for fun. We were able to make it to a truck pull in September. It was the last one of the year for that venue, and as you can see, did okay. I have two favorite moments from October. Number one, my dahlias are just on fire in October. They're so gorgeous. Like, they know frost is coming and they just want to put on an extra show. There's nothing better than dahlias in October. But also another thing that was that was pretty fun is that we announced to everyone that, hey, we're having another babe. November was a real busy month. I have a lot of good things happening on my camera roll in November. Number one, we did kind of a surprise gender reveal. We told kind of our closest family and friends that we're having a boy, and they had no idea. We're not really gender reveal people, but Kane reminded me that it was a legitimate reason to do a burnout. So who am I to argue with that? Also, I had the start of rifle season in there. I got myself a doe on the first day. Me, Kane, and my dad were all in the woods together on the first day, so that was kind of fun too. December, let's see what happened in December. Oh, Kane got a doe, so we put some meat in the freezer, which is always a good thing. And honestly, we just had a lot of time together, a lot of time with family, and what's better than that? Right, so we talked about my favorite things, and I guess we may as well get into the things that were not so great this year. Mainly the things that I am seeing as a negative are the things that we didn't have time to do in the fall or last year that are going to affect spring, summer, and fall going forward. I basically had to leave behind all of my perennials We didn't have time to prepare space to transplant a lot of the things that I really wanted to bring with us. It's going to be kind of a big loss for me in the summer in terms of flowers. We're not going to have any fruit. Oh, and asparagus too. I forgot about the asparagus. Those are kind of my low points this year. Just not having time to have done that work to set us up for what I'm gonna consider a successful spring. But I'll get over it. What are you? Voodoo, where did you come from? Plus, I'm gonna be busy in spring anyway because we're gonna have a new baby. I'm not gonna be able to tend to all of those things like I normally would or would need to. So maybe it's for the best. I'm just gonna look at it that way. I don't think that's gonna carry me through, but I'm gonna try. Also, I have no idea where I'm gonna start my seedlings this year. And that's a problem because I sold over 500 plants. That seems weird to say. I sold over 500 plants last spring. And I produced a lot more than that. So I'm not really sure where that's going to happen, but we'll figure that out another day. Well, thank you for joining me today. I apologize for being MIA for many moons, but we're going to get back to it. I'm going to use the rest of my time before seed starting to kind of rest and reset and prepare for this new little person that is going to be joining our family. Hopefully, I have some more things figured out by the time I start talking about starting seeds. Not ready. Just stay tuned, and if you are interested in staying up to date on all of our homestead happenings, I'm sure this year is going to be just a real doozy and super entertaining for you, probably not for me. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our new homestead happenings.